Adam Chris for MyMMAnews.com, being joined by the flyweight champion of Cage Fury Fighting Championship. He's got the belt right there, the hardware, my man, Phumi Turbo Nkuta. First and foremost, Phumi, I'm feeling great, man. The better question is, how are you feeling?
I feel like a champ. I feel like a champ right now.
You know what? You look like a champion. As a matter of fact, you have, and we were just talking about this, you have a good friend who's also now a champion, who was also a CFFC champion. So it's just like the proof is in the pudding, and Sarah Longo just getting it done. So, man.
Dude, there's something in the water in New York, man. I don't know if it's the same thing that makes the pizza and bagels good, but it's just something in the water over here.
So I want to talk about that, man. You were talking about just some people falling into gyms, and some people, you know, you fell into the perfect situation, and you got the right gym from the gate, from the jump in Sarah Longo. How did you tie in with them from the start? Because obviously you made the right decision from gate.
Yeah. You know, honestly, man, I always wanted to be a mixed martial artist. And so when I was young, just looking at places when I was going to turn 18, it was like, okay, wherever I go, you know, from now on, I need a place to train. Right. So I was looking at a couple schools, and I tell the story a couple of times, but it's crazy just to think how it all ended up. I wanted to go to TriStar. You know, I was a big George St. Pierre fan growing up. He motivated me a lot. So I'd gone to TriStar, visited, talked to Barasa Hobby. You know, I was basically in there, man. But the school got back to me a little late. And in the United States, you got to make your decision by May 1st. So I chose another school called Hofstra, right down the road. And crazy, man. I looked up Long Island in MMA, and then I saw Ryan LaFleur's gym. And then once I moved in, I looked closer to the gyms in the area. Ray Longo's was a mile down, and I didn't have a car, so it was perfect. I could just walk down and back every day, and the rest is history, brother. The rest is history.
So I want to ask you now, it seems like all of that coming to fruition. I don't know if you're one of those people, but do you believe that destiny happens and it was just sheer destiny for you to fall into that place at that moment, now capturing the belt? Everything's just going in your favor. Do you believe in that?
100%, man. And that's what pushed me. That's what pushed me the whole time, because, you know, I wasn't always a champ. You know, I wasn't always going out there, you know, with the pyro and cutting, you know, good promos. Like it was a lot of work, man. There were times where I didn't have $1. You know, I didn't have a penny to my name, but I still was trying to go to the gym, trying to put a smile on my face, working as hard as I possibly can. And look, man, you know, after you take a couple L's, and, you know, some of the L's turn into W's, and they turn into W's, you know, and I truly believe I'm where I'm meant to be. I got the best team in the world, Sarah Longo. We don't fight like individuals, man. We fight like family. So being with those guys, they helped me. I helped them. And I wouldn't have got this belt, I don't think, if I was with them.
Which you have in the belt now at 3-0. You were just talking about you've taken your L's. Obviously, that's talking about in the gym, because it's not in your amateur career or your professional career. You're undefeated. Yeah. So, I mean, the how it's coming together seems to be going so wonderfully planned, and all the hard work is coming together so well. So I got to ask, with all of this being put together in the line so well, what do you think is going to be lining up next? Obviously, you're going to defend your belt, but before we get into the contest itself, we're talking about destiny. So what's next on the destiny train?
Man, next on the destiny train is that UFC contract. You know, I truly look, if you didn't believe it after that fight, I don't know what else I got to do to freaking, I got to jump off the cage and kick the guy's head off. I for 4 rounds, man, for 20 full minutes as a 3-0 fighter, I fought for 20 minutes. And not just won and dominated every second. I put on a furious pace that I know people can't even keep for 15 minutes, you know, and not just that people can't keep. I know UFC fighters, UFC flyweights, guys who are in the upper echelon of the division who can't keep a pace that high, you know. So in my opinion, I'm ready for the UFC. I'm ready strength-wise. I'm ready power, speed, agility-wise. I'm ready cardio-wise. And talk about confidence. Come on, brother. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. So on the destiny train, that's 100% what's next. I don't mind defending the belt. I love CFFC. They treat me right. They want me to defend the belts against somebody. I'm in, man. I'm in. But at the end of the day, if Dana comes calling, I'm accepting that call, man, and I'm gonna try and make him call. So that's all.
So it was your first time main eventing, your first time in a championship belt, and it was on UFC Fight Pass. Again, I keep talking about how everything is coming together, but with everything being the way it was, how was your nerves on the night?
Good, man. Honestly, the best I ever felt. I'm not one of those guys that goes into it and says, oh man, it's a fight. It's like, at the end of the day, when you're training with guys like Merab Dvalishvili, you got to worry about that guy hitting you in your face, right? Even a guy who fought earlier that night, Pombos Gregorio, Charalampos, we call him, he's a heavy power puncher too, and very good kickboxer. So in my mind, Alberto Trujillo is just another man, right? And in the gym, I compete with, in my opinion, some of the best men in the world. The Aljos, the Merabs, and then you look to your right, you see Chris Weidman. You look to your left, you see Ali Quinta. You know what I'm saying? So for me, every time I step in there, I'm not really worried about the big moments and this and that. It's me, another human being, and the same canvas that, would be anywhere. My opinion, man, you put me and anybody on the street fight, I win. You put me against somebody in a phone booth, I win. We fight at a concert or a crowd, I win. It just so happens under the bright lights of CFFC.
Did you anticipate beating him so handily?
Of course. That's what we train for, man. That's what we train for, Sarah Longo. Like, people, I think, honestly, man, people really did think I was just talking, right? But, man, I got the hard work to back it up. Mm-hmm. And you ask a guy like Ray Longo, you ask a guy like Chris or Aljo, when they watch me in the room, they know I'm one of the hardest workers there, man. I'm trying to push the pace. I'm trying to catch up with those guys, right? So at the end of the day, in my opinion, when I went out there, I didn't care about Alberto Trujillo's record. I didn't care about what he did to the guy before him. To be honest, and this is not an offensive way, I didn't care if the belt was on the line. I'm walking out of that octagon dominant, victorious, and undefeated.
So Alberto Trujillo, did he even give you any bit of a problem? We were talking about this off record, and I'm not going to say what was said, but some things were said to where you were talking about in the middle of a round and saying some things. Yeah. It looked like you dominated 100% of the time, physically, mentally. It didn't look like you had a problem in the slightest. And I'm saying this so boldly because it shocks me that what you told me before.
Yeah.
You told me.
No. And I don't mind saying it too. First of all, Alberto Trujillo, man, tough dude. In my opinion, I feel like I dominated the fight. I feel like I said, I'm confident in the pace that I keep. I put on a pace on that guy, man, that I'm telling you any other man in the world would have broke. And I even told him after the fight, even after I caught him with the spinning elbow, you look on camera, he gets up, runs to his corner, comes back out. He's trying to fight again. I had his back all fourth round. I had him in the body triangle, going for the choke. And he's talking trash a little bit to me. He's saying, I'm not going to let you finish me. I'm not going to let you get there. I'm like, dude, this guy's tough, man. So much respect to Alberto Trujillo, man. That guy, dude, win, loss, his next fight, he's going to come out like a bat out of hell. And he made a fan out of me. As what I was saying going into the fourth, that I felt that groin shot, man. And I know he didn't mean to do it on purpose. It was accidental. Mm-hmm. But, man, like, I didn't want to give him too much time. I didn't want to give anyone too much time because I want to stay in the fight. Mm-hmm. And when you have the adrenaline start to wear off, it really freaking kills you. So it was kind of the mix of the adrenaline wearing off a little bit and then the groin shot going into the fourth. But that's why we got Ray Longo, the best corner in the world, man. He almost gave me like a punch a hole in your chest-esque type of, thing. And that's it, man. It was all said and done in the fourth.
It was, man. And it couldn't have looked any easier for you. And that's no discredit to your opponent at all. But I do have to ask, I see some glamour in the back. I see some balloons. I mean, obviously you're doing it big. What'd you do to celebrate, brother?
Oh man, I couldn't celebrate that night, man, because my stomach was killing me. I think even still from the groin shot, man, like I was feeling that all night. But after that, I think I hung out for a little bit, rested one day, flew to Vegas, and I was like, all right, we gotta celebrate, Aljo. We gotta do a little something. We just brought 2 belts to the best team in the world. We gotta hang out.
Man, so I got to ask you this, because all of the online banter and silly talk and whatnot, I'll go ahead and say it. If you're silly enough to not know the rules as a champion and you do something as blatant as that, it is what it is. So people can say all the silly stuff they want. I personally don't agree with it. Aljo's your man. He's your training partner. He's your guy. You guys are champs together now. What's his mindset like? What do you think about this whole situation and all the internet haters?
I mean, look, it's funny. I think it's a typical Aljo story, right? You count the guy out. You have all the reason to count him out. Put all the chips against him, right? Was he starting to slow down in the fourth? Sure. So it makes it easy for people to say these things, and they forget about the first 2 rounds, where first round he tripled the amount of strikes he had. Second round doubled them, right? So. You look at the Marlon Moraes finish. He lost to Marlon Moraes. What are all the fans saying? Oh, you got knocked out by Marlon, this and that. Every time he posts something, they post a picture of him knocked out. What does he do? Comes back and starches everybody on his way, starts beating everybody on his way, and then puts Cody Sandhagen to sleep. I think, man, it's a typical Aljo story. A lot of people just counting this guy out again, and he's been through it before. He's seen this before, man. This is what he's been going through his whole life. I think it's the perfect setup to the perfect fight, where he's going to come out, shine, and show he's the best in the world, man. I truly do believe that guy is the best in the world. And when he comes back against Peter Yan the second time, I'm telling you, you're going to see a different guy.
He's going to be making his return against Peter Yan, but I'm curious, now that I have you, Rob Haydak, you wrap that belt around your waist. Is there any talks of who you might be facing next?
Nah, man, I haven't heard anything yet. This was what I wanted, right? At one point I was 1-0 and I couldn't find anybody who wanted to step in the ring with me. I had too much experience, right? Even, the champion at the time, Santos, said, there was no point in fighting me. So now I have the belt. I just beat Alberto Trujillo, in my opinion, the toughest dude, if not the best skilled dude, the toughest dude mentally in my division outside of the UFC, without a doubt. I just beat him in dominant fashion for 4 rounds straight. 4 rounds straight at a furious pace. At the end of the day, man, Rob Haydak can give me competition. Dana White can give me competition. Just know that I'm ready.
Ready for the gold is Phumi Nkuta.
Yes, sir.
Do you care to even detail just a little bit of some of the action that you and Aljo saw out in Vegas? What's some of the stuff you guys got into, bro?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I love it. I love it. All right, Phumi, man, I'm going to start wrapping it up, but I do have to ask you, man, now that the title is on your shoulder right now, it's on your waist, you're the title holder, you're the champ, man. What's it like to have that target on your back? Everything is coming in the fruition now, but it's funny because all the things are coming in line. Your championship belts, but with that, people wanting to beat you up in the process and take what you got. So what's it like to have the target on your back now?
It's funny, man, because even before this fight, I was starting to get, some messages too from a couple fighters, guys being like, I'll knock you out. Or I had one guy messaging me all day on Facebook, man, relentlessly just telling me about how he's going to beat me. But, dude, half of these guys don't have the experience, man. Half of these guys don't have the knowledge I have. At the end of the day, it feels good because it just means I have something they want. And I was that guy. I was the guy that wanted the champion. So I was going for the target on the champ's back. Now I got the target, and I welcome it, man, because I'm too fast. I can't be hit. Keep shooting those shots. Keep trying to hit the target, and trust me, everybody's going to miss.
All right. That's it for Phumi Nkuta. How can the fans keep up with you on social media? Because CFFC has a new flyweight champion, and people want to hear from him. Let's hear it.
First of all, let me just say thank you to everybody that followed me. I got 15,000 followers. I think it was 10,000 followers from this fight alone, which is pretty damn crazy. Yeah. But follow me on Twitter and Instagram, PHUMINKUTA_MMA. That's Phumi Nkuta _MMA. Follow the flyweight champ. We got some big stuff to do, man. We got some content. We got some belts. Come on, man. You want to follow the champ.
There it is. Phumi, man, I appreciate you taking the time as always to talk to me, man. Congratulations. It was an outstanding performance. I would say You pitched a no-hitter if we want to equate it into other terms, man. It was just phenomenal. You looked great. I couldn't be happier for you, and I can't wait to see the next one.
Adam, you're the man. Thank you, and can't wait to be back.
There he goes, Phumi Nkuta, the CFFC Flyweight champion. He took out Alberto Trujillo. It went down at CFFC 92. We're just days removed from it, and the champ is here to talk about it. For Phumi Nkuta, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked, as always, to mymmanews.com for all your fight news needs.
Turbo
all right,
out.
Phumi.